Hello, Bailey. I've been going through your superhero program, and I like it. But it's got some interesting little things that are not working right that you may not even notice because of the way your output came out. So let's look at it together. Okay, so here's your program. I've got it copied in here. I was looking at it at first, and I said, okay, name and strength points is what they gave you. You added motto, sidekick, sound effect, and some kind of points. I'm like, great, you added like 4 attributes. So I was looking there, and I was like, but why am I missing one? And I almost missed it. You do have the self strength points, but with that space in there, I thought you had lost it. So it's there. So I'm just gonna rearrange the spacing just so it's a little easier for me to see everything. So there are the 6 attributes you have right there. And strength points is a number, but these points is not a number. You put it as a quote, some letters, some kind of letters in there. So I'm not sure how that works. So then we'll look and it's like, okay, here's the first method they gave you, right? Add strength points. And I'm just going to, again, take some of the spacing out there where get more of this on the screen. And then here's the one you added. You added one, play sound effect. I love it. Okay, so take some of that space out too, just to bring that up closer, show more on the screen. So you have a sound effect method that if self sound effect is wave, it'll print splash. If it's splash zone, it'll print whoosh. If it's undertow, it'll print eek. Otherwise, it'll just print pow. I'm like, okay, well, that's really cool. So then we get down here in the main function. You've created a hero. Name Tsunami, 100 strength points. That's going to be a problem. Here's the quote, their motto. I hope you brought an umbrella because you're in the splash zone. Their sidekick, I guess, is a Loch Ness monster. And their sound effect is splash. And then their points is just 0 here. Now, what I find interesting is splash. If you run this later, sound effect, it's looking to see if it equals wave, splash zone, or undertow. Splash is one of the things that'll print if wave is their sound effect. But wave is not their sound effect. Their sound effect is splash. So it should print pow because it's not any of those. It's not wave, splash zone, or undertow. So it should print pow when you call that method. So you print it. Name, points, motto, sidekick, sound effect. Print a blank line. Let me tell you about the superhero. Let's run this and see what it looks like. Okay, Tsunami 100. That's printing all those things there. An umbrella, the Loch Ness monster, sidekick, sound effect, splash. Let me tell you about superhero. Her best friend and sidekick is a Loch Ness monster. Together they fight all kinds of evil, like the Magma Man, the most powerful being ever. Tsunami shouts her motto, help run umbrella in the splash zone, just for finishing him off, and use her most powerful attack, splash. Now, how do we get that? Oh, you just used whatever you created as sound effect right there. You just used a sound effect. You didn't call the sound effect thing there. You just printed whatever their sound effect already was. So, and this is now her points are. Oh, now this is interesting. You added the strength points to the hero points, and it came up with 1,000. And I went, wow, how did it do that? Because this was 100 and this was 0. And then I figured out what it did. You've put these in quotes. So it thinks these are letters. So if I change this to say this is HAP and this is PY, and I run the program, now our points are happy. It just adds them together like it's parts of a word. So it took the 100 and the 0 and made it 1,000 because it put 100 and another 0 in the end. It's not actually adding them together at all. So I thought that was interesting. I'm going to put this back. So the way to fix that is we have to actually just make that a number. Don't put it in quotes. If you put it in quotes, it thinks it's letters. And these points down here were 0. I don't know what they were supposed to be because it just calls them points. Up here, this would have to be a 0 also, so it knows this is a number, not a letter. Now that's going to create an issue too. Anytime we print that, now when it prints strength points, it's going to say, hey, I can't print letters and numbers on the same line. Watch this, we'll run it. There you go, line 36. I cannot concatenate string and integer objects on the same line. So now, since we fixed that error, it's going to create a whole bunch of errors every time we print it, and we have to go back and put that str command. Remember, it says, "Oh, just treat that number like it's a letter and print it." And let's see, where else do we have that? Anywhere it has points or strength points, we're going to have that issue. So let's see, strength points, motto, sidekick, effect, name, sidekick, sound effect. No, it's only just 2 places. So let me see what it does with this last one. Now our point's at 100 because it actually added them together. It added 100 plus 0. And so their points are now at 100, which is what they were at before. Now, here's the thing you didn't do. I mean, you did everything with print statements, everything in print statements, which is great for putting your story out there. But what about these 2 methods? You never added strength points. You never played the sound effect. So let's see. We need to go down into here, and before we print the new strength points, I don't think we need to add the hero points because the hero points were 0 anyway. We need to take that out and just print the hero strength points, which look, right now it doesn't change anything. It's still 100 because that's all it was. Before that line, we need to use this method, add strength points, because she gains some kind of points by defeating her enemy. So I'm going to copy the name of that because I don't want to have to type it again. Add strength points. And our hero is called hero with a capital H. So we're right here, we'll say hero dot, and there's how we'll paste that. Hero dot add strength points, which means go up to that method up there that adds strength points for my hero, and we'll say add 150 points. Now let's print it out and see what the new strength points are after running that. Oh, look, now our points are at 250 because I added 150. I went there and called that method. I said, go up here and call that method. Now let's see, sound effect self. Let's see what we can do with that. We may have to send another, like this had self.points. We may need self.sound effect or something. We'll look at it in just a second here. But let's see, instead of putting the sound effect there, let's end that line, call the method hero dot, what's this one named? Sound effect. And let's just see what that does. Hero dot sound effect, and we're going to send nothing and see if that works. Nope, str is not callable on line 50. So we need to send something. And I guess we need to send whatever her sound effect is. So let's say self dot sound effect. See if that works. Oh, an E is capitalized in it. Sound effect. Okay. So let's do hero dot sound effect. If we send that sound effect, let's see if that works. No, it still doesn't like that. String object not callable on line 50. Well, somehow got to figure out a way to fix that, but it should be checking self.sound effect. We're sending sound effect, but maybe let's try putting the hero dot there. No, now it doesn't like that at all. Now it's really mad. So take that out. Okay. Sound effect. It's fine with that. It's just not happy with this. Hero dot sound effect. I wonder if I take the hero off here and just say go up to sound effect and use the hero dot sound effect. Sound effect is not defined on line 50. So I have to use the hero in front of it to say go up there and use sound effect. But it doesn't like this. So I'm not sure. We'd have to do some playing to fix that. But somehow or another, you have to call both of the methods that you created. And we'd have to figure out why this is recognizing the sound effect that we send to it. Hey, future me here, figured it out. I'm going to put this in real quick. Won't take long. We had a couple of areas of confusion. We were doing self.sound effect. We need to just make that if sound effect because that's what we're sending. The other thing is, I think it was confused that we had the name of the method and the variable the same. So I changed this to play sound effect. And then down here, I did this as hero.play sound effect. And then I sent the sound that this. I probably could have just put that in there, but that still works. Now when I run it, look, it plays POW, which we said it would probably do because it's looking for wave, splash zone, or undertow. Otherwise, it's just going to play POW. And since hers is not wave or any, if we change this to wave, now when we run it, oh, it still said POW. Why is it? Oh, because it's looking for just a capital W. AVE. Let's just change it that way. Now it does splash because now it found the sound effect it was looking for. Splash. So that was it. Just wanted to get that in there. But otherwise, it's great. You just had a few issues with this not being numbers because you put it in quotes. And I don't know, you could use those points to add points, whatever they add points if you wanted to. I just typed in a 150. But you'd want something besides 0 if you're going to use this for how much they gain. You need a better number. But and you added an extra method. You just never used either one of them. But all in all, I like it. You got a good story there. The whole thing's good together. You used the template and created things great. You added extra attributes even. All of that was great. We just had to clean up a few things and still need to figure out that second method, how to make that work with whatever sound effect it's supposed to be. I don't know. It's always a challenge to figure that out. So, all right. See you in class.